How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to see some seriously scary videos, so hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. Sometimes still images are far creepier than any scary videos could ever be. Reddit user Stefig1994 has shared a pair of unsettling images that have left many viewers scratching their heads and feeling deeply uneasy. According to the post, the photos were taken by a cleaning lady while she was working alone in a neighbour's home. She initially snapped the first image simply to document the layout of a cabinet filled with books, dolls, clocks, and various knickknacks, so she could reorganise everything once cleaning was finished. At first glance, the image seems harmless enough. You can clearly see the cleaning lady holding her phone reflected in the glass of the cabinet, but just beside her reflection, slightly to the left, there appears to be another face staring back from the glass. A woman's face, and it doesn't belong to the person taking the photo. Puzzled, the cleaning lady took a second photo moments later, this time raising her phone higher to capture the upper shelf more clearly. What's disturbing is that the same unidentified woman's face appears again in the reflection, positioned differently, but still clearly visible. According to the OP, the cleaning lady was completely alone in the house at the time. The homeowner was not present, and the face seen in the reflection doesn't resemble her in any way. The images were taken around 8 years ago, but to this day, no one has been able to offer a convincing explanation for the mysterious face appearing in the glass. Whether it's a bizarre reflection anomaly, a trick of lighting and angles, or something far more unsettling, the identity of the woman in the cabinet remains a complete mystery.
Oh, I found a glitched person.
A bizarre clip uploaded by TikTok creator Hugh Jass has left viewers scratching their heads and questioning reality itself.
They're staying in place. They've been there for like 2 minutes.
While parked on a quiet back road in her local town, the OP began filming what looked like an ordinary sight in the distance. A lone figure appeared to be jogging down a narrow country lane. At first glance, there seemed to be nothing unusual about it.
Just wait. They look like they're running, right?
But as the seconds ticked by, something didn't add up.
They're staying in place. They've been there for like 2 minutes.
The person running in the distance didn't appear to be getting any closer or farther away. In fact, they didn't seem to be moving at all.
What?
According to the uploader, she continued filming for several minutes, watching the figure jog endlessly on the spot.
They look like they're running, right? They're not.
No change in position, no shift in distance, just the repetitive motion of running, frozen in place.
What?
The clip quickly sparked intense debate online, with many viewers suggesting this was a classic glitch in the Matrix moment. Some claimed it was evidence that reality itself momentarily malfunctioned, like a non-player character stuck in a loop inside a simulated world. Others took the theory even further. Toward the end of the video, a red truck drives through the scene, a detail that didn't go unnoticed. Viewers were quick to draw comparisons to The Matrix, where the woman in the red dress symbolizes hidden truths and artificial reality. To them, the red truck felt like a deliberate wink from the simulation itself.
What?
Of course, there could be a perfectly mundane explanation. Distance, perspective, camera compression, or even an optical illusion could all play a role. But no explanation has yet fully satisfied those who watch the clip closely.
What?
If you haven't yet, check out our merch store. We've got loads of creepy designs, everything from ghosts and cryptids to aliens. All orders over 50 ship free, so it's the perfect time to grab a tee, hoodie or sticker. Hit the link in the description or the one we've pinned in the comments down below.
This is part 1 of what's probably going to be a new series called The Bakery is Haunted.
The following scary videos have left viewers baffled. TikTok user Mizim says she spent the last 8 years living a real-life horror story inside her Charleston bakery, Rock City Cake Company.
Now, I have put off doing this since 2017 because I have to work with this ghost almost 6 to 7 days a week.
In her first video, she introduces what she calls a new series the bakery is haunted, and she makes one thing very clear. She's not trying to convince anyone, she's not asking for attention, and she definitely does not want ghost hunters showing up to stir things up.
I am not trying to convince you of anything. I am simply laying out the video and photographic proof that I have. I will not tolerate ghost hunters. We do not want to trigger Harry. If any of you guys get any ideas, like you're going to come to the bakery and ghost hunt, I will kick you out immediately. We do not want to trigger him. We do not want to stir him up.
According to Mizim, the activity has been going on since 2017, and whatever is in that building has a name. They call it Harry. Some days, she says the bakery feels normal and quiet. Other days, it's like a switch flips, and Harry goes on a rampage.
Harry now these days, sometimes he's chill. Sometimes we don't hear from Harry for days. Sometimes we'll go in there, the vibes are cool. Harry ain't doing nothing, he ain't acting up, all is well. And then I don't know what gets into him sometimes. We go in there and he is just riled up.
One of the first incidents she shares starts with something small but deeply unsettling. She wakes up from a nap in the bakery and notices a singing, dancing sloth toy that nobody ever touches. It normally sits on a shelf for years. But this time, she says it somehow moved and is sitting up high, like it's been placed there, staring down at her. That one moment triggers a chain reaction. Her co-worker Byrne tries to hide the sloth, and she explains they have a rule at Rock City. If something gets moved or hidden, they don't tell each other where it is, because they don't want to accidentally gaslight themselves later and assume a co-worker was messing around. Then she backtracks to what she calls her rock-solid proof from 2019 and 2020. It starts with cheap Halloween decorations, those spiderweb bowls you can buy from discount stores. She says they began appearing all over the bakery in groups of 3, placed in perfect triangles, lined up precisely with the tiles on the floor. And it doesn't stop there. She claims the bowls later turned up in places they shouldn't be, including stuck up high, as if they'd been lifted and placed there by something unseen. Eventually, she snaps and throws every single one of them away. Then one day, during a busy lunch rush, she looks across the shop and sees one again, sitting on the couch in the back. She says she felt her stomach drop because she knows they were removed from the building weeks earlier, so she does what any skeptical person would do. She pulls up the security footage to see who put it there. And this is where her story gets properly bizarre. According to her, the CCTV appears to show the spiderweb bowl materializing out of a painting mounted above the couch, then dropping down onto the cushions. Here's the footage.
Tar canvas above the couch, please.
She claims it doesn't come from above, it doesn't get tossed, it just appears.
Now you may think, oh wow, somebody threw it from above. Nope, let me zoom it in for you, pal.
Here it is slowed down.
This is me just slowing it down with my finger. That thing is morphing out of that painting.
It does indeed look like it materializes out of the painting itself.
What do you even do with that? What am I even supposed to do with that? So, I threw the paintings away. That wasn't a good move. But please tell me I'm not crazy. Please tell me you see that bowl morphing out of that painting.
In part 2, she says this isn't even the first time something has come out of artwork. She describes a separate incident where staff heard a loud crash in the lobby late at night. When they checked, a Dr. Pepper can was on the floor, even though she insists the bakery had no Dr. Pepper at the time. When she reviews the footage, she claims the can appears to fly out from the direction of a small canvas.
The first thing you're gonna see is, I had to turn it sideways, but just look towards the back stairway. You'll see the Dr. Pepper can fly, there's an orb to the right, and then the skeleton falls.
And she says the painting later had a hole in it, like something punched through from behind.
So here's a zoomed in Dr. Pepper can flying out of the canvas. Again, there's just a wall behind it. Let me reverse it, and you'll see the Dr. Pepper can come back. It literally comes straight out of the painting.
She also points out what she believes are orbs of light moving around the room in the same clip right as objects fall and crash.
Please look after the Dr. Pepper can falls, the orb flying up from the top left. And then the bones fall and there's an orb flying to the piano bench. And then at the bottom of the right, there's another orb that flies up. So there's 3 total orbs in this video. And it is absolutely insane to me.
She finishes the updates by repeating the warning. She's sharing the story because people asked, but she doesn't want anyone showing up to provoke whatever is in the building. She's not trying to open portals, she's just trying to sell cupcakes.
Yeah, so that's the story of the Dr. Pepper can flying through the painting. And I hope that you guys see that. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm simply just sharing stories that we've experienced. And again, I have a ton of videos.
So what do you think is happening inside Rock City Cake Company? Is this a case of a classic poltergeist, a long-running prank taken too far, or something far stranger that's been living in the walls of 205 Capitol Street the whole time?
Next, please look after the Dr. Pepper can falls, the orb flying up from the top left. And then the bones fall and there's an orb flying to the piano bench. And then at the bottom of the right, there's another orb that flies up. So there's 3 total orbs in this video. And it is absolutely insane to me.
Reddit user Ehmar has re-uploaded a deeply unsettling piece of ring home security footage that's been circulating online, originally sourced from YouTube. The identity of the homeowner and the exact location are unknown, but the footage itself is enough to make anyone think twice about their home security habits. The clip shows a shared hallway in what appears to be a block of flats captured through a Ring doorbell camera. Then out of nowhere, a person enters the frame. What immediately raises alarm is that the individual appears to be holding a knife in their hand. Instead of approaching a single apartment, the person moves methodically from door to door, bending down and searching underneath each doormat. Many viewers believe they are checking for spare keys hidden beneath the mats, likely looking for an easy way to enter someone's home. Their appearance has sparked intense debate in the comments. Some believe the person looks disoriented or under the influence of drugs, while others argue the behavior appears calculated rather than erratic. If there's one takeaway from this video, it's this: lock your doors and never leave a spare key where someone else might be looking for it.
I just dropped it and it floated up. What do you mean?
Here's a strange clip that's left millions of viewers scratching their heads.
What do you mean? Stop. Could someone please explain the science?
The video is uploaded to Instagram by user Amy Bellissima14, also known as Amy Nicole, a mum of 8 who regularly films moments from her busy family life. She's driving her family around for the day when something odd starts happening in the back of the van.
What do you mean? What the?
Amy turns around and begins filming. That's when the reason becomes clear.
Could someone please explain the science?
Are you lying, Matthew? Why is it
I
doing
swear
that?
on my life, it just floated.
Suspended in midair between the seats is a plastic water bottle.
Is there air under? What is going on?
The air.
No, the air is not, it's not by the vent.
The entire family looks confused. The boy stares at it, clearly aware of how strange it looks. Amy keeps the camera rolling, trying to make sense of what she's seeing.
Look at this.
I just dropped
It was spinning, it's not spinning anymore.
It's freaking hot. That's crazy.
Her son insists he's not doing anything, no tricks, no setup, and he says he has no idea why the bottle is floating.
Are you lying, Matthew? Why is it
I
doing
swear
that?
on my life, it just floated.
When the clip hit Instagram, it exploded. Hundreds of thousands of comments flooded in, all trying to explain the impossible looking moment.
No, the air is not, it's not by the vent.
Some viewers were convinced it's a trick. They suggest fishing line, thread, or a near invisible wire attached to the roof of the van. Others argue that no wire is visible at all, even when the footage is slowed down and examined frame by frame. Amy herself appears genuinely baffled, repeatedly stating she's never seen anything like it, and that the moment completely threw her off.
It's not even attached to the roof.
Yeah, put the phone up here. You can see it's literally not even attached to the roof.
And it's spinning in the air.
So what's really happening in the back of this car? A clever illusion pulled off in plain sight? Or a moment that still doesn't have a clear explanation?
It's freaking hot. That's crazy. And I saw the whole thing. It's spirits.
Why is this normal?
This unsettling moment reportedly happened in late September 2025, when TikTok user Laura Emerson was staying at an Airbnb with a group of friends.
I want to have a look.
According to Laura, the night took an uncomfortable turn when she noticed something odd inside the bedroom. The door to an adjoining room was locked, but the light on the other side was on. Curious and increasingly uneasy, Laura grabs her phone and starts recording.
Airbnbs, mate.
She slides the camera underneath the locked bedroom door.
Have a look. What's under there?
The footage reveals what's on the other side.
I want to have a look.
Standing upright in the room is a human-like figure, completely still, facing the door.
What's under there?
At first glance, it looks like a statue, possibly a mannequin, something decorative. Laura keeps filming, clearly unsettled by how lifelike it appears.
What's under there? I want to have a look.
When the clip was uploaded to TikTok, it quickly gained traction, and that's when the tone of the conversation shifted. Many viewers didn't believe it was a statue at all. They argued it was a real person standing perfectly still, hoping not to be noticed. Some speculated it could have been a man hiding in the locked room, possibly the homeowner, possibly someone else entirely.
I want to have a look.
Others pointed out how unnatural the stillness felt, suggesting the figure was deliberately avoiding movement. They claimed it looked less like decor and more like someone waiting. Of course, some viewers pushed back, saying it could simply be a mannequin, a statue, or even a trick of perspective caused by the low angle and lighting. But the idea that someone could have been standing silently in a locked room while the group slept left many people deeply unsettled. So what do you think was really standing on the other side of that door? A harmless statue? Or someone hiding in plain sight, hoping not to be discovered?
I want to have a look.
Not sure what that is.
This sighting was reported on Wednesday, December 11th, 2024 in Newcastle, Australia, after a quiet, clear summer evening.
Hey Jordan, what's that?
The witness, Todd Watson, had already been outside earlier that night watching the International Space Station pass overhead. He says the ISS was visible for several minutes before disappearing from view. Just after 9:25 p.m, something else caught his attention, something completely different.
It looks like it's on fire, doesn't it?
In the footage, a glowing object hangs in the night sky.
Hey, maybe it is a drone on fire.
There's no sound at all. No engine noise, no crackle, no hiss.
Fuck it.
As it travels, the orb cuts across the wind, drifting at an angle rather than being carried with it. At around 1 minute and 29 seconds into the video, something even stranger happens.
That's crazy. Oh, it is on fire.
Small bursts of light appear to drop away from the object, like fire or plasma shedding off its surface.
That's crazy. Oh, it is on fire.
Todd continues narrating as he films, clearly confused by what he's seeing. His commentary sounds spontaneous, unrehearsed, a reaction to something he wasn't expecting.
It's not a... What if it's a flare or... It's changed direction, hasn't it? That's...
After the sighting, Todd reviewed the conditions carefully. The sky was clear. The temperature sat around 21 degrees Celsius. Wind was light from the northeast. Cloud cover was almost non-existent. He checked Flight Radar 24. No aircraft matched the object's position or movement. He reviewed satellite data and ruled out the ISS. He dismissed flares, drones, and Chinese lanterns based on behavior alone. Todd says he's seen lanterns and balloon debris before, but under clear skies and bright moonlight, he believes he would have seen the structure carrying the flame. He also questioned how a lantern burning that intensely wouldn't continue rising.
What's that?
What he says he saw instead was a self-contained ball of fire, silent, stable, and behaving in a way he couldn't explain. So what do you think this glowing red orb over Newcastle really was? A rare atmospheric effect? A misidentified object? Or something still unexplained moving silently through the night sky?
That's crazy. Oh, it is on fire.
Alright, so it's me, Tim. Do tree work.
This curious discovery was shared by TikTok user FrankieDaddy00, also known as Tim, an arborist working in Flint, Michigan.
Guys, we're down here taking breaks. We're downtown Flint. Downtown. So check this out.
Tim has spent more than a decade cutting down trees for a living and says he's seen just about everything that can turn up on a property. That's why this find stopped him in his tracks.
Very curious, and we're very interested. You know, so how old is that thing?
While taking a break with his crew, Tim starts filming an old tree at the back of the property.
So check this out. That tree is clearly 300 years old, probably 200.
As the camera moves closer to the trunk, something immediately stands out.
What is this?
Embedded deep inside the tree is a stone.
That ain't natural.
The stone appears flat and deliberate. It has straight edges, faint markings, and features that don't look natural at all.
I got some markings on it, but I don't know. That ain't natural.
Tim points it out repeatedly, clearly baffled by what he's seeing. He estimates the tree is at least 200 to 300 years old, possibly older.
That tree is clearly 300 years old, probably 200. But look at what we found inside.
If that estimate is even close to correct, the implications are strange. The tree appears to have grown completely around a man-made object. Tim continues filming, asking viewers directly what they think it could be. He notes that Flint was founded in 1807, raising an obvious question. How did a carved stone end up inside a tree that predates the city itself?
You know, so how old is that thing?
When the video was posted, the comments section quickly filled with theories. Some suggested the tree may have grown around an old gravestone. Others proposed it could be a forgotten trail marker, distant stone, or early town marker from the region's settlement days. A few commenters pointed to surveying history, suggesting it might be a boundary or cornerstone placed long before modern development. And then came the more speculative ideas. Some viewers claimed the stone could be a clue to something buried beneath the property. A larger structure, foundations, or even the remnants of something far older than the city itself. There's no clear explanation yet for how a carved stone ended up sealed inside a centuries-old tree. And without excavation or historical records, the mystery remains open.
What is this? I got some markings on it, but I don't know. That ain't natural.
This eerie photo was uploaded to Reddit by a user named Zaraf after a strange moment in his backyard. According to the uploader, he and his girlfriend had just stepped outside for a smoke when something in the distance caught their attention. They've lived on the property for more than 15 years and say they've never seen anything like it before. In the image, a dark figure stands out against the snow. After reviewing the photos, the uploader says he has no explanation for what the figure could be. No neighbours were outside, no known structures or objects line up with its position. He posted the images to Reddit, hoping others might recognise what they were looking at. Commenters began offering their own interpretation. Some suggested it could be a shadow cast by a tree or fence, distorted by low light and snow glare. Others thought it might be a distant person partially obscured by branches, but a number of viewers weren't convinced by those explanations. Some described it as a possible shadow figure. Others went further, suggesting it could be a ghostly presence caught standing in the snow. With no follow-up sightings and no clear explanation, the image remains unresolved. Just a single moment, frozen in time. If you want to see more scary videos just like these, then hit that subscribe button and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll always see our brand new episodes as soon as they drop. In the late 1960s, a small law office in the Bavarian town of Rosenheim became the centre of one of the most closely monitored paranormal investigations ever conducted. Not because of eyewitness stories, but because of data. Between 1967 and 1968, the offices of lawyer Sigmund Adam were plagued by disturbances so disruptive that normal work became impossible. At first, they looked like routine electrical faults, but as technicians arrived and measurements were taken, it became clear that something wasn't behaving according to known physical laws. And unlike most poltergeist cases, this one didn't rely on anecdotes, it relied on instruments. Lights exploded without warning, heavy furniture slid across the floor, telephones dialed themselves hundreds of times a day. Most troubling of all, none of it made technical sense. Local utilities were called in first, then federal telecommunications engineers, eventually physicists from the Max Planck Institute. This was no casual ghost hunt. It was treated like a forensic investigation. One of the earliest red flags came from the building's electrical system. Voltage recorders installed by city engineers began registering sudden spikes well above 400 volts. Under normal conditions, those surges should have instantly blown the building's 16-amp fuses. They didn't. Even more puzzling, technicians observed voltage spikes continuing after the main circuit breaker was switched off, meaning the energy couldn't have come from the external power grid. The recorders themselves behaved strangely. Instead of tracing smooth curves, their mechanical needles tore through paper in looping, jagged motions, as if subjected to sudden bursts of force rather than gradual electrical change. These anomalies clustered during office hours, not at night, not randomly. Then there was the furniture. In one incident, a metal filing cabinet weighing close to 200 kilograms slid roughly 30 centimeters across the floor. Physicists later calculated that this would require more than 500 newtons of lateral force to overcome static friction. There were no scrape marks, no rollers, and no visible mechanism, and investigators were present when it happened. The telephone system raised even more questions. The office received a bill showing nearly 600 calls to Germany's speaking clock service. During one 15-minute interval, 46 calls were logged. That works out to one call every 19 seconds. In the era of rotary dials and electromechanical exchanges, this rate was considered mechanically impossible for a human operator. Deutsche Bundespost technicians monitored the lines directly and found no faults, no cross circuits, and no malfunctioning switches. The pulses were real, but their source was not. As investigators reviewed months of data, a striking pattern emerged. The disturbances only occurred when one specific person was present. 19-year-old office secretary Anne-Marie Schabel. Psychologist Hans Bender, who led the investigation, identified her as what he called a focal person, someone around whom physical disturbances seemed to cluster. Schabel was undergoing personal stress and emotional strain at the time. Bender theorized that her internal tension might be externalizing itself through an unknown psychophysiological mechanism. The evidence for this wasn't theoretical, it was observational. Video recordings showed lamps beginning to swing before Schabel reached them. When she walked beneath light fittings, oscillations sometimes started in advance of her arrival. When she was sent on compulsory leave, the disturbances stopped completely. When she returned, they resumed. And when she was eventually dismissed from the firm, the phenomena ended for good. The office returned to normal operations and remained quiet. Of course, a case this high profile attracted intense criticism. Skeptics proposed nylon threads, manual interference with recording equipment, or outright deception. One magician claimed hidden strings were used to move objects. Others argued the voltage recorder needles were deliberately pushed by hand. There was even an allegation that Schabel had been caught faking one event. Supporters countered that none of these explanations accounted for the totality of the data, especially during periods of strict monitoring. They also argued that occasional trickery, if it occurred, didn't explain months of independently recorded electrical and mechanical anomalies. The debate became so heated, it spilled into court. The law firm sued several critics for fraud allegations and won, forcing public retractions. The controversy never truly settled. What makes the Rosenheim case unusual isn't that it has a paranormal explanation, it's that it never received a satisfactory conventional one either. Instead, it left behind something more enduring, a new way of investigating the unexplained. The Rosenheim events helped formalize multidisciplinary research into anomalous phenomena, combining psychology, physics, engineering, and telecommunications. They also played a role in legitimizing parapsychology as an academic discipline in Germany. Today, institutions descended from that work continue to study mind-matter interaction, not through spirits or hauntings, but through statistical deviations, random number generators, and neurobiological stress models. So what really happened in that Bavarian law office? Was it an elaborate series of technical coincidences, a deeply flawed investigation elevated by belief, or a rare glimpse into an interaction between human psychology and the physical world that science still doesn't fully understand? As always, I'll leave that one up to you. Oh hey, well that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more scary videos, then check out those two links right there. Leave us some comments down below. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.